What if one tiny gray brick changed gaming forever and still works 37 years later? Man, that makes me feel old. Yes, today, April 21st, marks 37 years since the Game Boy first launched in Japan. And this video is about how this simple little handheld beat its competition, invented gaming on the go, and became one of the most iconic devices ever made. From the genius design decision that nearly got it canceled to the one game that made it explode. By the end, you'll understand why people are still playing it today.
Dynamite! Back to the 80s we go!
Back in the late 80s, portable gaming existed, but it was a mess. Devices like this bad boy right here, the Sega Game Gear and the Atari Lynx, had full-color backlit screens. On paper, they crushed the Game Boy, but they had one massive problem: the batteries. Running a Game Gear for an hour cost more than 10 times what it costs to run a Game Boy. People were burning through 6 AA batteries just to get a full hour of play. Yeah, look at those bad boys. Nintendo made a deliberate, almost counterintuitive choice. Instead of chasing the most impressive tech, they focused on what would actually work for players. That meant a monochrome screen, not black and white, but 4 shades of green. Simple hardware and battery life that lasted. And that decision changed everything. But for a lot of people, this wasn't just a piece of tech. This was road trips. Man, many a road trips this went with me. Long car rides with your face practically pressed against the window, trying to catch the street light just to see the screen. I did eventually get a battery and a magnifying thing, but at first, man, batteries dying in at the exact wrong moment, right in the middle of a boss fight, and somehow it was still worth it every single time. That's not something you can engineer. That's just magic. So who built this thing? His name was Gunpei Yokoi, and he had a philosophy that sounds almost backwards. He called it lateral thinking with withered technology. What that means, don't chase the newest tech. Use mature, affordable, proven technology and apply it in a completely new way. The idea came to him on a train in Japan, watching a businessman absent-mindedly playing with an LCD calculator. Yokoi looked at that and thought, what if that was a game? That mindset gave birth to the Game & Watch, and eventually the Game Boy. Affordable, durable, and it ran for hours on AA batteries you could buy anywhere. But great hardware doesn't sell itself. The original plan was to bundle the Game Boy with Super Mario Land, but a man named Hank Rogers, who had helped bring Tetris out of the Soviet Union, convinced Nintendo to switch. His argument? Mario appeals to kids. Tetris appeals to everyone. So in North America and everywhere else, the Game Boy shipped with Tetris. And it was the right call. Business executives were playing it before meetings. Parents were playing it on planes. It reached people who had never picked up a video game before. That is what made the Game Boy explode. Now, here's the real question. Does it still hold up? All right, let's see if this thing holds up. Got the classic Tetris, which of course we got to start with that. I've got a stack of games over there, but I'm going to put this in, see if this thing still works 37 years later and see how it holds up. See how well we can see this. There you go. Make that a little bit darker. Gotta say, just hearing the noise and the sounds, it just really takes me back already. I'm already engulfed in this game. Oh, I'm gonna be in trouble there. You know what? Let's live on edge here. Hope I get another straight piece. I'm in big trouble if I don't. There we go. What's this? Turning it on, hearing that startup chime, watching that Nintendo logo drop down the screen, it all hits instantly. Games like Tetris, Super Mario Land, Pokemon Red and Blue, Link's Awakening, they're all still surprisingly playable. There's just something about the simplicity that respects your time in a way modern games sometimes don't. The first time I played one of these, I didn't put it down for hours. No notifications, no updates, no loading screens, just the game. There's a reason people still mod these things, still build custom shells, still hunt for them at garage sales. It's not nostalgia. It's that the core experience was just that good. So how did the Game Boy beat more powerful competitors? Better battery life, a stronger game library, a lower price point, and true portability, something that others couldn't match. The Game Gear and the Lynx focused on specs. The Game Boy focused on the experience. And Yokoi's philosophy proved out. Players don't care about screen resolution once they're hooked on a great game. They cared about whether they could take it on a road trip without bringing a bag of batteries. The Game Boy moved over 118 million units in its lifetime. The Lynx and Game Gear never came close. Today, portable gaming is everywhere. The Nintendo Switch, Steam Deck, every phone in every pocket. But trace it back far enough, and it all starts right here. The Game Boy didn't just prove that handheld gaming could work, it proved that experience beats specs. That philosophy is still alive in the Nintendo Switch today, which isn't the most powerful console on the market, but it might be the most popular. Yokoi never got to see that. He passed away in 1997, but his fingerprints are all over modern gaming. 37 years ago today, a small gray brick launched in Japan. No color screen, no internet, 4 shades of green, and a handful of games. And somehow, it changed everything.
They said it wasn't humanly possible. All the power and excitement of Nintendo right in the palm of your hand. Introducing Game Boy. It's portable, it's in stereo, and its games are interchangeable. Game Boy comes complete with batteries and the outrageous new game Tetris. And for head-to-head competition, use Video Link and blow your opponent away. Game Boy, only from Nintendo. Now you're playing with power, portable power.
The Game Boy didn't win because it was the best technology. It won because it understood something deeper. That the best games don't need the best hardware. They just need to make you forget you're holding anything at all. This little gray brick still does that 37 years later. Happy birthday, Game Boy. Thank you, Yokoi.